Testing, testing, testing. Are there any licensed firearm owners in the Newport, Minnesota area? Anybody at all? If so, just give me a call or a text. My number is 763-242-4788. Another test to see if the first test worked in terms of seeing if anybody will let me borrow their shotgun for a nice pheasant hunting trip. Or goose, or duck. Really any kind of bird. Even bald eagle. I'm ready to hunt some bald eagles. Quite a few months ago, I saw 5 bald eagles in the sky circling over me. And then about 2 months ago almost, Jesus Christ, somebody put a bullet in my head. I saw, I think, 10 of them. Bald eagles all flying around together. I can't believe that was like 6 weeks ago. Somebody please let me go hunting. As I was saying, Sue and Mike. Sue and Dick. Those are 4 family members, excuse me, in my family. Those are the only 2 Sues in all of my family. Probably extended family. Yeah, that's family, whatever. There's not another Sue. There's not another Mike. There's not another Dick. So there you go. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. Sue and Mike, Sue and Dick. I've covered this extensively. Maybe I'll touch on it again just to see how it's going to go this time. See if there's any progress being made in the right direction. And by right direction, I mean somewhat like being able to have a hard cock for a second. Just even a full hard-on for half a second. I'd say odds are not in my favor. They're not even close. But hey, what can I do? That's the sacrifices some of us have to make so you fucking people can sit on your ass and not do anything all day. So you can fucking sit there and wonder, what the hell happened to my dad? He just disappeared one day. Now I'm not getting ass raped every night for the last 5.5 years. Now my dad isn't raping me. And I'm only 8 years old. Where did he go? Thank God I didn't have to kill him and then kill myself and go to fucking hell. But hey, she thought about it too much. You can't think about things like that, little girl. Otherwise, the telepathic dad comes in and rapes you. But Hayden, I was doing research and it said that it takes, I know this isn't really a habit, but I don't know what else you would call it. Forceful ass rape? Yeah, that's what I would call it too, darling. Sorry, yeah. What were you saying? About your dad's habit? Well, he apparently every time, if you smoke one cigarette, your first cigarette, some people don't try a cigarette for another few months. But then when you're 25, like you smoke almost a pack a day. Because you're addicted. Because you think about them all the time, because you love them. That I do, darling, that I do. Did you love getting ass raped? What about did he do it in any of the other holes? No, just the ass. Okay, well that's good. I guess. Yeah, I think about cigarettes all the time. It's one of the only things I still enjoy. I kind of wish I had a full pack of cigarettes right now. Well, can you go voice some? No, no. No, I cannot. I was just saying a bit, like a comedy bit. Because it seems that this country and the people and places and things in this world are just full of a bunch of commie fucks who don't really believe in the Constitution, the amendments, the Bill of Rights. One of those things is the same as the other. I don't know why they have different names for it. I don't understand. They hate privacy. No, I'm not talking about God. All right. But I kind of am. All at the same time. They really don't seem to be too fond of freedom, whether that be thought, will, or speech. The people who run this country and are running it straight into the ground. At least they were. That's when you just run a couple of psyops up in their ass and they all Jim Jones each other. They all just go to Epstein's Island because they all bought it. Obviously, he's not gonna fucking Ghislaine. He's not gonna sell it to well, they might sell it to the Saudis. And the Saudis will invite all the politicians in this country. All the really nice people who care so much about the people. They'll all go there and gather around. What? I keep hearing cars driving around. And instead of raping children, which they'll do, I'm not saying that's the only thing they're going to do. They're going to basically drink blood, probably torture some people, probably make their minds up on a few bills and laws that they'll be voting on in the House or the Senate. I don't know what the difference is. I don't give a shit. Later this week, upcoming month, they'll all decide, okay, so this one's going to pass. This one's going to not pass. So we can all buy stock in this company before we even do the vote. And they're all cheer while they're like fucking, they got pimp chalices of adrenochrome. They're skinning people alive in the background. All right, so this one is for a new kind of drug. It's not a benzo or a stimulant or an opiate. It's not an antidepressant. It's nothing like that. It's, I don't even know the word. I can't even think of one because my brain is so fried. And I have 4 ice packs on my head, like strapped to my head. So I'm cooling the brain off quite a bit. It's getting hard to read. And I'm feeling bored with this life. But you know who's not there? And the little girl's like, is he talking to me? Does he have like an AirPod in the ear? She's wondering. She doesn't want to say anything because she doesn't realize that she kind of is starting to realize, and she's 8 years old, that I'm kind of like losing my mind. And I'm kind of crazy. And I just say to her, don't worry, I'm not going to be raping you, skinning you alive, or drinking your blood. Okay. A skinwalking, shape-shifting twin of your dad might, though. Just don't think about that. Don't make a joke about that one. If you are propped up in a reality world that's propped up by fake coma dream magic and a fake simulation, because I've disproven both. It ain't heaven, it ain't hell. So literally there's no reason why these things should be happening still. None. All because Hayden had an idea about what purgatory might be for, I don't know, me, I guess. When he was 25 and a half years old, a couple months ago, I had that idea. Literally on the Purgatoring episode. Go listen to it if you want to find out what reality is. If not, don't listen. It's a long episode. It's like over 2 hours. I get a bit sidetracked when I do episodes. If you don't like it, don't fucking listen. I don't give a shit. But in that episode, I literally figure out what reality is. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody else has done that. I don't think. It's just the truth. Like, what? I mean, there's really nothing more to say. Just go listen to the Purgatoring episode. If you want to know what reality is, I don't know if it's, I mean, it's my reality. I'm not sure if it's ever anybody else's. It might be your first life. Turn to God, folks. So yeah, no, you might be seeing 1,500 shape-shifting versions of your daddy walking around. If you if reality starts acting weird after you get into a car accident where you're not even whatever the fuck. You don't even get knocked out from the airbag in this car accident almost 3 years ago. No, because you literally, as soon as you crash, you wake up as the airbag is hitting you in the face, and you are immediately reaching for the booze in the back seat and your weed pipe, to hide. Because you think, oh man, the cops are going to search me. Like, as soon as the airbag is smashing into my face. So, and I didn't drink that evening either. There's bad drivers everywhere, folks. I don't know what to tell you. Watch out. There's a lot of them. I've met probably 5 of them. Not, in depth. We didn't really get to sit down and have a chat, but we briefly met out on the road in the madness. But, yeah, you don't even go unconscious. So you think if you were in a coma dream, which are not real, I've come to realize, coma dreams are bullshit. All the research online, at least on my devices, is complete horse shit. It's all fake. None of it's real. It's all bullshit. There are no coma dreams. There are no voices from another dimension fucking talking to me while I'm in a coma dream. I talk about this shit on the Coma Dream Lamb episode, and I realize, oh man, that's the fake nothings. And we're not even going to really talk about them. Because what is there to discuss? And she's like, oh boy. She's like, trying to find her fucking tablet. Play Candy Crush. Put in her headphones. Because she's like, oh, we've lost him. She's going on a rant again about whatever. But, yeah. So I'm not going to shapeshift into your dad right now. But if the roles were reversed, you might shapeshift into my stepmom. But never to like do anything at all. Just drive around as a person, living life where you didn't even exist earlier, like earlier that day. Somehow you have a nice car, you probably have a stable job, and you make a decent amount of money. You probably have a decent amount of money in your bank account right now. You just started existing today. I'm taking these ice packs out. Oh my God. C.D. Lamb, J.J. McCarthy. I mean, the list goes on. Bo Melton. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? These people are making millions of dollars playing in the NFL, and they didn't play a fucking snap. Like a year ago. But they've played for 5 years in the NFL. Their families are probably not working at all, none of them, because their son or brother or whatever, I mean dozens of people in each family. I gotta pause this for a second. And, you know, I just wonder, man, what is going through the minds of all of these people? Because I'm beating a non-existent dead horse at this point. The horse is gone. It doesn't exist anymore because you can't even really begin to fathom what's going through my head, let alone theirs. They're living lavishly. They're not really doing anything. They're watching their family member play football every Sunday. Woohoo! And I'm still struggling. You know, what can you do? I mean, I can't even get a goddamn piece of paper to print out my podcast logo with a QR code so I can put it around town or whatever. The printer will not work with me. It won't print the thing. I'm going to try again here in a little bit. And I got my body parts and my limbs and parts of my body literally talking to me in Morse code whenever I bring up shit that the universe doesn't really seem to agree with. Specifically, in terms of me knowing that this is not a coma dream, because I have disproven it. And they're not possible, folks. I really don't think they are. I barely even dream now. With a fully functional brain. Somehow it's still functional. It's not leaking out of my eardrums and my nose and my eyeball holes. Somehow it's not made its way down my spine and into my ass crack. Due to the mind fuckery and mind rape and all of that good stuff. So when I have literally proven with like 5 different pieces of evidence, I'll just list them now. No, I'll do this later. I'll do this on a different episode. All right. I'm not doing this right now. I want to talk about adrenochrome. Who doesn't want to know what adrenochrome is? What its uses are? Why do people drink it? Adrenochrome. There we go. This is fun. Adrenochrome is an interesting topic. Let's find a decent article, not Wikipedia. American Chemical Society, ACS.org. That's a legitimate website that I would like to visit right now. Molecule of the Week archive, adrenochrome. I'm a biomolecule with some notoriety. What molecule am I? Adrenochrome is a biomolecule produced in the body by oxidation of hormone adrenaline, hence its name. The chrome in its name indicates that it is deeply colored compared with white adrenaline. Adrenochrome was known as long ago as 1856 with French neurologist Alfred Vulpian. He also discovered adrenaline. Wow, thank you, for that discovery. Observed that adrenaline turns red when exposed to air. What? But it was not until 1937 that David Ezra Green and Derek Richter at the University of Cambridge, UK, named the compound and described its isolation and characterization. The structure of adrenochrome is chiral, at the position of the hydroxyl group to the squared to the second power group. Group times group. Little information is available on the individual enantiomers, whatever the fuck word that is. Adrenochrome is an unstable molecule with no practical uses. I beg to differ. Its monosemicarbazone, however, is stable. It is said to promote blood clotting and can be used to treat hemorrhaging of the brain, most likely. Give me some of that. From the 1950s to the 1970s, adrenochrome was thought to cause schizophrenia, but this theory was eventually debunked. What kind of schizophrenia are we talking about? Inserted or natural? In recent years, adrenochrome has been implicated in far-right conspiracy theories such as QAnon and Pizzagate reports of satanic ritual abuse, as described in a July 2023 Forbes article. It has also been touted as a hallucinogen or youth drug. I heard it was to support your immune system. I thought it was for if you want to get rid of wrinkles in your face due to not being able to fall asleep because you talked about insomnia on a podcast episode that you never released, and then you kind of got insomnia, so now you can't fall asleep sometimes. So what would that be? Inserted insomnia? Yeah, I thought it was for when your spine needs to be realigned. Like your spine is trying to straighten itself back out because the times you haven't been able to sleep normally for 2 years due to, not because of drugs, because you don't really get high, not like you used to. And you'd literally stay awake until you physically just pass out in your gaming chair, which is a normal gaming chair. It's not comfortable at all. It actually is very uncomfortable. But you work yourself and you just stay up and stay up and stay up until you literally are doing something and you just kind of pass out from natural exhaustion. Usually in the gaming chair. Because laying down and attempting to go to sleep ever since I was a child. And meanwhile, I've been talking about this the entire time, my right bicep, or not bicep, my little, if I was a chick, it'd be my tit, right under my armpit, but next to my nipple, is like vibrating like Morse code. Like somebody outside of this quote unquote dream world that's fake is tapping my body and trying to talk to me in Morse code. Still doing it. Now my foot is doing it. But last year my foot started doing it, and I thought that was kind of weird. And I started talking to my foot, my little Morse code buddy. And it eventually started responding to my future thoughts before I even thought about them. And this is a whole nother, like, fucking, well, my tit is still talking to me in Morse code. It's still like it's, but when I used to meditate to wake up naturally from my quote unquote coma dream, which is fake, yeah, notice how that fucking thought goes away right away? Huh. So when I would meditate, a few times I would get this sensation like I was levitating into another dimension or world, and it felt like and this doesn't happen anymore, but it feels like the thing that I'm sitting in is like shaking my body, but like it's not like my body, it's like a weird like force field, like force, like from Star Wars. So it's quite different. Like I was meditating, and I talk about this on maybe one or two of the episodes, but I was meditating, and I literally could feel the fabric or the cushion, like the thing that I'm sitting on. This is all fucked up and bullshit, by the way. I'm trying to have a funny episode. God damn it. I want to talk about it now. So I was sitting in my couch, and I know what my couch feels like. It's soft and cushiony, like a cloud. But then as I was levitating up, I got right up close to the light, I didn't have my eyes open. I got right up close to it. I could literally feel my body, my mind, my spirit, my soul, my heart that I still have. It's still growing. Like just reaching the other side of whatever it was. Back then I thought it was real life, and I'd never kill myself to wake up from a dream. God told me that. I thought it was my former self. But God told me back then, don't kill yourself. Never kill yourself. It'll be worth it when you ascend into eternal heaven. Not here. So I got right up close, and then I heard the fake nothing. He speaks up. And I fall back down. And the fabric of the thing that I was laying on had literally transformed into a different kind of fabric, like different kind of material. It went from my couch to like a hard hospital bed. But I could feel somebody after that moment, after I fell from heaven. I said, all right, well, that's fucked up, and I'm fucking pissed off about that. I was right there. I've never been that close before. Never. I've never been that close, aside from the vision I had in jail when I saw heaven. I've never been that close before. That was different than every other time I've meditated. And I've meditated for at least 100 hours. Which nobody in a coma dream, well, nobody has coma dreams because they're fake. They're not real. Nobody has to meditate for hundreds of hours to wake up. Trust me. Because they never have coma dreams. Because they're not real. But after that moment, I said, all right, just keep your eyes closed and don't move. Keep meditating, Hayden. And I slowly started what felt like was levitation, like astral projection, like ascending into another dimension or realm, which I thought was my former, like my comatose self in a hospital room and bed. But when after that, I had my eyes closed, but I could feel and see. I could see somebody's presence, but I couldn't see anything because my eyes were closed. And I could feel somebody's presence next to me, and I could hear them, but I couldn't hear them. I could feel their presence, but I couldn't feel it. And they would shake my body like I was dying in a hospital bed, like vigorously shaking. I could see and feel their arms across my body, shaking it, yet I couldn't see or feel their arms across my body, shaking my body. It was like a weird, like the Force in Star Wars. Like, you know, they move objects with their fucking hand. It felt like somebody was moving my body with the Force. It didn't feel like somebody was actually grabbing my body and shaking it at all. It felt simulated. It felt fake. It did not feel like, this is my whole point. It did not, and I'll finish the hospital bed story. I could literally see, but I couldn't see somebody next to me what felt like my dad. I don't know why I felt that presence. My dad would never be like spending a bunch of time in the hospital sitting next to me. He's too busy working. But the fake him, turned to I don't know how I could even tell that he turned towards what I imagine was the hospital door to the hallway of the hospital, yet I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear a goddamn thing, not even a heart rate monitor. Usually, that's why people in comas, their families are almost forced by the hospital staff to talk to the family member at all, like pretty much at all times that they're there, because they can usually hear the family talking, and that's what pulls them out of the quote-unquote, I was going to say dream, but they don't dream. Coma people don't dream. All the research online about coma dreams are bullshit. They don't dream. The yes-o-mas, the yes-o-ma dream, C is the letter, that's the same phrase, like this for Morse code. I've already gone over this 17 times. Don't listen if you don't want to listen. C, it's the same, it's da dit. That's yes in Morse code, which is the letter C. Like Spanish, C. Like the code, the lingo. I call it Mexican language because everybody's never talking about what they actually are talking about. And it's the most counterproductive way to ever get anything done at all, ever. It's not a joke when you are intentionally meaning the opposite of everything, like a fucking retard. So, as he turned to the, he was calling for a nurse's help or whatever, yet I couldn't hear anything, I couldn't see anything, and I couldn't feel anything on my body, I couldn't smell anything, couldn't taste anything. So, as you can imagine, it felt simulated, it felt fake. Not like that vision, I'll tell you that. That was not fake at all. So when I literally felt him shaking my body, I didn't feel like somebody had their hands on my body at all. Not even a little bit. And it's not like my body was numb due to being in a hospital bed for so long, due to being in a yes-o-ma, because I owe my mother some money. That's where the term coma comes from, by the way. Yes-o-ma. No, it did not. It was not because my body was numb. It was not because of any of that. It's because it was bullshit. Because I'm not in a coma dream. But you know what feels more real than that entire moment? Oh, there's still one more thing. That's when, this is the only thing I heard during that entire thing, aside from the Get back down to this realm, piece of shit. And that's when I could feel the presence of a nurse on my right side. And couldn't hear anything still. And this is when I heard, you know, when they rub the two pads together? Like, I think it's called a defibrillator. The thing they use to jumpstart somebody's heart once they've, like, flatlined. I could hear the when they rub them together. And then that's when I could feel the presence of them reaching towards my chest, and I just kind of blacked out after that moment. Like, I don't remember what happened, really. Really fun moment, fun time. When you are trying to meditate, and you're trying to wake up naturally from a yes-o-ma, that, your former comatose self, who's a junkie, junked up on morphine and ketamine all day, every day, shooting up drugs, not really getting anything productive done, sleeping all day, not even getting out of bed. I mean, Jesus Christ, what a lazy piece of shit. Can you imagine, like, being told, like, you think you're in a yes-o-ma for a while, and you think you might be, and then, like, getting this telepathic vibe from what you think is maybe you're the you that's in a hospital bed in a yes-o-ma, saying, no, don't ever kill yourself. Don't do it. It'll be worth it when you ascend into eternal heaven. It'll be worth it, Hayden. That was the vibe I got. I didn't think it was eternal heaven back then, but when I was told it'll be worth it, now I understand. Now that's what God meant. So, knowing that God was also saying, pretending to be yourself in the coma. God was pretending to be myself in a coma, or making me believe that, or stringing me along, making me think that that's what is my circumstance. Also said, we'd never go out like a bitch and a pussy who kills themselves. Not even in a yes-o-ma to wake ourselves up. No, because coma dreams, yes-o-ma dreams are fake. They're not real. They're just fake. They are. They're not real. Can you imagine being a fully functional human being and not even really dreaming at all, ever, like once every few weeks or once a month? Which is how often I dream. Pretty much. And if I can even remember the dreams, they're so fragmented and distorted, and the visualization of the dream is pretty broken up. And it doesn't really, there wasn't even really much going on in the dream. It's like blurry and fuzzy. And it doesn't, it's like I'm watching it from the viewpoint of a director behind a camera, like a big camera recording, like shooting a fucking TV show or a movie, which is really funny and ironic because that's a whole nother thing I'm not going to get into. I'm trying to have a funny one here. Trying to do a funny. Is that what the Morse code tit is telling me? That's the whole point of the thing. This little vibration on my body, it's like a tick. You know, when people have like, let's look up what the word tick means. Adrenochrome. I never even finished talking about adrenochrome. Jesus Christ. People need to know about this stuff. Far-right conspiracies. Yes. Adrenochrome, unstable chemical compound formed by the oxidation of epinephrine, also known as adrenaline, and having the chemical formula C9H9NO3. Its name is a combination of the words adrenaline, referring to its source, and chrome, referring to its having a color. What? Adrenochrome in its unstable form is of little practical use. Huh. That's what they want you to think. That's why these articles are saying that. However, its stabilization via binding to monosemicarbazone results in carbazochrome, adrenochrome monosemicarbazome, which promotes blood clotting. Carbazochrome is sometimes used to treat hemorrhaging, although its effectiveness remains inconclusive. Interesting. Here we go. Cultural significance and conspiracy theories. The idea of a powerful hallucinogen that could be obtained from the human body, however, was provocative. British author Aldous Huxley made reference to adrenochrome in his book The Doors of Perception in 1954, while American author Frank Herbert referenced it in Destination Void. Yeah. Published in book form in 1966. In the patois of British author Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange, 1962. Of course it's in Clockwork Orange. The substance was obliquely mentioned as drenchrome. Okay. Most consequentially, adrenochrome and its supposed effects were depicted in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, 1971. Damn. I've only seen that movie once. I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't really remember a single scene. I don't remember anything about that movie at all. By American journalist Hunter S. Thompson, which freely blends fact and fiction. In the book, Thompson's attorney, Dr. Gonzo, claims, Jesus Christ, Gonzo. There's only one source for this stuff, the adrenaline glands from a living human body. It's no good if you get it out of a corpse. Thompson's account, which he admitted to making up, was explicitly referenced on anti-Semitic 4chan message boards in 2013 and 14. 4chan is an image board website. Anonymous posters began adding a new detail to the old superstition that Jewish people kidnap Christian children to drink their blood. Jews. It was now alleged stole children specifically to harvest their adrenochrome. Huh. Well, that's not very holy. That's not the message I'm kind of... well, just send me some if you have some. I don't need to, I know it doesn't... if you transport it, if you don't drink it directly from the human, it loses kind of its potency, and I'm okay with that. I don't want to be, I'll think about it. In 2016, this idea found its way into similarly credulous threads about the Pizzagate conspiracy, where it was claimed that rich and powerful individuals tortured children to harvest adrenochrome. From there, the idea found a natural home in the conservative QAnon movement. Believers in the QAnon conspiracy already thought that liberal politicians and movie stars secretly trafficked children. Slotting adrenochrome into the conspiracy story provided a new explanation as to why. In 2017, an independent film titled Adrenochrome was released. It features a fictional gang in Venice Beach, California that kills people for their adrenochrome. In the years that followed, the fallacious conceptualization of adrenochrome as a human-derived drug has continued to distance itself from scientific fact. Some conspiracists have come to believe that adrenochrome is not just a hallucinogen, but an elixir of youth. Well-known liberals who are advanced in age have consequently been accused of prolonging their lives with the substance. Give some to Joe Biden, for God's sakes. What are we doing here? The dude's like dying. Give him some adrenochrome. I figured he was already a heavy user, but clearly I'm wrong about that. So yeah, this is what the politicians like to do, I guess. They like to sit on an island with a bunch of Saudis and a bunch of rapists and murderers, and they like to, like Xi Jinping and the dude in North Korea and Putin. They're all there right now, probably. They probably need a bigger island, though. You know, where Epstein got down and dirty. Oh, wow. So yeah, my tit still tapping. It's like a tick. That's what I was gonna look up. Tick. Body tick. Tick. Body ticks. Here we go. That could be what it is, actually. Oh my God, not the tick, the bug. Yeah, so here we go. It's just a tick. Motor ticks. Why are they called motor ticks? Jesus. Motor ticks. Very well health. No, I want the Cleveland Clinic. Cedar Sinai, that's a good one. Motor tics are involuntary movements caused by spasm-like contractions of muscles. Well, that explains it. There's really no more to discuss about that. I'm quite ripped. Most commonly involving the face, mouth, eyes, head, neck, or shoulders, or any part of the body at that point. I mean, there's... Vocal tics are sounds uttered unintentionally. Some combinations of motor and vocal tics are diagnosed as Tourette's syndrome. Tics can be caused by other conditions, like a fake coma dream. Tics are often sudden and repetitive. While tics may appear to be intentional, they are not. A person may be able to suppress a tic for a short time, but the tic movement or sound will reoccur as the urge becomes stronger. Symptoms. Motor tics can be simple or complex. Simple motor tics involve only one muscle group or body part. They usually are not harmful, but they can be embarrassing or painful. Some simple motor tics include quick eye blinks or eye jerks, tongue movements, including sticking out of the tongue, head twitches or head jerks, squatting and hopping, shoulder shrugs. I know that game. Complex motor tics can be a combination of many simple motor tics or a series of movements that involve more than one muscle group. Complex motor tics are slower and often appear as if the person is performing a movement intentionally. These types of tics can interfere greatly with daily life and may be harmful, such as head banging or lip biting. Some complex motor tics include facial grimacing, touching people or things, obscene gesturing or gyrating movements. Like motor tics, vocal tics can be simple or complex. Simple vocal tics involve sounds made by moving air through the nose or mouth, including grunting, barking, hissing, sniffing, snorting, throat clearing. Yeah, enough of this fucking hullabaloo. Mumbo jumbo trying to trick my mind. We're done with that here in this world. I give it up to God. No, that's right. You just got to give it up to God, right? And not the fake God who's in a fake coma, because that doesn't exist. It just doesn't. I've disproven it. So we're done doing the coma shit. We're done with it. I've disproven it. For 3 months, I needed one thing to fucking happen that I wanted to happen exactly how I wanted it to happen, and that fucker wouldn't do it. One thing. Anything. And it never happened. I said I was going to go jump off a fucking bridge if one thing happened. And it never happened. So fuck you. Making me feel bad for not fucking killing myself when I've disproven that this is a coma dream. Fucking ridiculous. Complex vocal tics may include words, phrases, and sentences. Patients with a complex vocal tic may repeat their own words or other people's words and may use obscene words. These vocal tics may interrupt the flow of a normal conversation or occur at the beginning of a sentence, much like a stutter or stammer. Causes and risk factors. Generally, tics start in childhood and tend to improve during adulthood. Get out of my head. If the tic begins in a person's teens, and that's what I was trying to say. I'm not. When I say give it up to God, I don't mean the fake dude in the fake coma. I'm talking about God, the real God. And I'm going to do an episode about that too, maybe. About, whatever. I know I've done a few of religion and God episodes or whatever. Tough shit. Don't like it, don't listen. I've seen God, I've seen heaven, all right? And I know this is not a dream world, and I know it's not a simulation. So that's that. I don't believe in hell and the devil. I don't believe hell and the devil are real. Not anymore. And that's what my decision. I can do whatever the hell I want with my beliefs. I can also call out bullshit when I'm inserted with beliefs that I don't believe. It's fucking retarded. Meanwhile, this entire time my tic has been like vibrating. But that feels more real than that entire meditation moment combined. When I felt my body being shaken and shook by my fake dad, because my dad would never be sitting next to my hospital bed for more than a minute. This feels more fucking real than that, being shaken like that. Because it feels like it's a tic. Like it's a tic. Diagnosis. A good medical, Jesus Christ. A good medical history and a physical examination is usually all that is needed to diagnose a motor or vocal tic disorder. The doctor will ask how long the tic has been occurring. If a patient has experienced a tic daily for a year and has not had a tic-free period longer than 3 months, the diagnosis is a tic disorder. Often tics are complicated by symptoms of obsessive compulsive disorder. Patients with this condition may need to be seen by a psychiatrist. Oh, so that's why it's happening. No, that's why it's happening. And I'm wondering when the internet is going to go back to normal and stop interfering with my personal life. Because this is true, folks. I know I may talk about ticks and Bo Meltons and Ezekiel Elliott being fat and people in cop cars disappearing out of thin air and making drugs show up out of thin air. But a lot of the shit, like when I talk about the serious shit, I'm being serious. It does happen, and it's real. So the fact that I'm being, like, forced to think that this is a coma dream after 3 months of literally begging myself, please, make a fucking pill show up, a Percocet pill, not an antidepressant. We're not doing that. I want to get fucked up before I go jump off a bridge. Please. Would you just make a car show up in the garage out there? Get that piece of shit Hyundai out of here. Let there be an Audi R8 out there. I'll even customize one to make it look cool. Please. I want to see my family before I hurl myself off the canyon accidentally when I'm taking pictures of myself at the Grand Canyon. Just kidding, I would never do that. This is back when my life insurance policy was still intact, in place. So if I would have done that, and I would have sold it pretty well, I would have went on a big ass road trip, seen a bunch of my family out of state, and seen all the national parks. Because God forbid Hayden does what he wants and has free will. God forbid. And no, that does not mean God forbids that. God promotes that. God needs that. Me and everybody else in this goddamn world. Free will, free thought, free speech. That's what God needs. That's what God... What's the opposite of forbid? Let's look up antonym for forbid. Forbid. My tit is still doing that. This is when the internet and my devices start acting all wonky. Hurry up. Not synonyms, antonyms. Forbid. No, not let go. This is what I'm talking about. That's another thing God allows, is Hayden to have his privacy and his rights back, as well as no more future timeline, precognition shit in a fake coma dream, as well as permitting me to just get the money that I should already have without selling my soul or going to hell, because that's the law, that's the Constitution, that's the copyright laws. He also encourages that I have no more chit-chat all day, every day. That's what God, let's see here. He welcomes it. He allows it. He facilitates it. He permits it. Yeah, Those are some of the antonyms for forbid. Some of the ones on here don't make any sense. He authorizes and demands all of that to be part of my reality and everybody's reality in the world. Yeah, I talked to him. That's what he said. You don't talk to God? Well, you're a fucking loser. Talk to God. Pray to God. Talk to him. Scream at him sometimes. Any kind of talking is good. It's better than not talking. God can take a joke. He has a sense of humor. And I know you're thinking, what the hell are you talking about? God says, don't lie. Don't lie, Hayden. You can't lie. No, we can't joke around with God. Yeah, you can. You can tell him he's a retard sometimes. It's funny. Because you're joking. There's a difference between intentionally and maliciously lying for personal gain and joking around, having a funny. Because God is not a dumbass. He's not a retard. I just call him that sometimes because I think it's funny. Because this world seems to be fucking retarded. And when I'm the voice of reason, God help us. No, truly. That's why he demands all those things. And he demands them last year. Not next year, last year, like a year ago. Because that's how overdue they are. But at the same time, they legalized the sale of marijuana in this state in dispensaries. Yet there's no dispensaries open that sell marijuana. Does that make any sense to anybody? No, of course not. Because that is retarded. So, I had another point I was going to make. Oh, yeah. People who listen to certain podcasts or comedians or whatever, they literally are doing so on the brink of suicide in this country. That's what they're doing. They're like, all right, let's see if I can laugh right now so I don't fucking do something I would regret. Like roll my wheelchair off the side of a bridge. Or jump out of a 20-story apartment building that I live in. So yes, God loves comedy. He loves it. He loves it. He does. He really does. So joke around, even at the most fucked up shit in the world, like my life. Fucking laugh at me. It's all fucked up. It's all fucked. And I get shit on and fucked with in my head for trying to do the right thing. Trying to be me. People want to change me. Nobody wants to change me. Just the fake nothings. Running their beaks when they could go be a bald eagle. Dude, I'd kill to be a bald eagle right now. I would love to be a bald eagle. You know how fucking badass bald eagles are? It's the bird of America. It really should be like the parrot. I've talked about this before, but because parrots, they talk. Free speech. God, I fucking A, man. Imagine just being a bald eagle and flying around town, swooping up fish from lakes and rivers. Because you can see the fish in the murky water from like a mile in the sky. That's how badass eagles are. They don't have right tits that talk Morse code to them that are actually tic disorders. No. They don't get to have any adrenochrome unless they slit the throat of their newborn baby and drink it real quick. Or the fish that they're eating. But that's the thing about adrenochrome. You have to like do it while the victim is alive. But yeah, I was going to talk about something like completely different on this episode, and I kind of got sidetracked about adrenochrome because I have a new merch line dropping for adrenochrome. I'm just taking a while for the production companies that have for some reason been replaced by robots. There's no humans working there anymore. I make in America. I don't ship my robot jobs over to China. No. I don't have the Chinese robots do it. I have the American robots do it. All right. But yeah. I mean, I guess I'll go into I'll do it on the next episode. Whatever. Yeah. Who cares? I mean, who really even gives a shit? Huh. Oh yeah, the coma patients being junkies. We're going to do an episode about that. If I find the time, if I don't descend into heaven. Which, anybody who's listening, if you're wondering, if you're a family or friend or, I was going to say somebody who gives a shit, but, yeah, because they seem to not really care too much. Fine by me. You know, let them live their lives. You know, family, tell other family about the podcast, or tell your friends, I guess. Spotify's trying to rate me and trying not to give me monetization perks. They reset my monetization counter. So I was at 83 out of 100 listeners in the last 60 days. So 83 listeners in 60 days. It's actually not bad. I'm kind of impressed. And Spotify for podcasters. Podcasters.spotify.com. Yeah, I'm calling you out, you fucking pussies. Fucking assholes. You reset my counter. I was at 82 out of 100. Because you have to, once you get to 100 listeners in 60 days, you get to set up subscriptions. So I can get paid for my podcast with monthly subscriptions from my fans. But they have a listener support. So it's different than the subscriptions. Accept monthly recurring donations directly from your listeners. So I need, these numbers were the same. I'm at 86 out of 100 now. Tell people about that fucking podcast. Tell people about it. Nobody's talking about this shit. The shit I talk about. They talk about stupid shit nobody cares about. But yeah, Spotify reset. I would be at 86 for both of them, subscriptions and listener support. But I'm only at 86 for listener support, where you can donate money if you want to. And I'm at 18 out of 100 for the subscription, where I can set up certain episodes per week that require the subscription. So they basically reset my progress. This is the kind of things I'm dealing with. I'm not even joking, guys. It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking pissing me off. And that's the thing. I shouldn't even have to get pissed off about this shit. Because I should already have like $1 billion in my possession. I'm not even kidding. And that's on the low end. So, that's with no ties to the fake Satan, because Satan doesn't exist in this world. Not in my belief system. Not in anybody else's, I'd imagine. I don't know. But me and God have decided Satan don't exist here. And I'm not Satan either. That's just the way it is. So yeah, if you want to, I'll be at 100 soon, hopefully, if you fucking tell people about it. And I could print out a QR code link to my podcast, but my printer won't work with me. And I was brought to the point of rage and anger that I threw my phone at the fucking closet door and the hanger, and I broke my phone. So I can't post any links myself. So share the episode, share the podcast with people, please. What brought me to going into a rage-induced manic episode where I throw my phone at the wall so hard that it just breaks. Yeah. And the internet can see into my future. Well, they could. They can't now. There's no more fake nothings. Fuck this shit, man. If anybody wants to go fishing with me, I could use a fishing buddy. I really haven't gone them. I haven't even gone this year. I bought a pole and everything. I have a nice rod and reel. I can't go with anybody. Nobody wants to go with me. I want to go fishing. Preferably for muskie. There's not many muskie. There's actually no, within like a 5-10 mile area of my residence, there's no muskie fish in this area of Minnesota. But when I go around the Twin Cities with the same radius on the map, on this cool fish app that I use, I'm not going to give them a fucking free advertisement. They, every area of the Twin Cities has recorded muskie fishing. Like, people have posted pictures of them catching muskie fish in every area of the Twin Cities except for southeast of St. Paul. You think that's a fucking coincidence? So these are the things I'm talking about. The ties. I mean, every single area of the Twin Cities, you can find at least one lake where people are catching muskie, except in my area. It's such fucking retarded bullshit. It's actually, I forgot about that one. So if anybody listening to the episode knows me, yeah, tell people about the podcast and let's go fishing. I'm trying to catch a muskie. Please. 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 Before I die, or go to heaven, or hell, or whatever. Send me off. Send me on my way at this point. I don't even care. That's the thing about caring. It hasn't got me nowhere. You know? It really hasn't gotten me anywhere. Nope. Who cares about any of this shit? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, nobody comments. I tell them to comment. Nobody comments. I just want to go fishing with somebody. Or I'd like to check out my brain. Just like literally check out. I'm not checking in. I'm just not checking in. And I'm not talking to certain people, and you're not going to get any of that to happen. Because God told me I didn't need to do any of that. And you're not going to change who I am as a person. You're not going to get me to stop thinking the way I think, which is dope. You're not going to get me to stop being a free-speaking, free-willed, free-thinking American like all of us should be. You're not going to do that. Nobody's going to do that to me. And nobody should do that to anybody else because it's goddamn sickening. You know, yeah, whatever. If anybody has any spare food, just drop it off at my house. I'll give you my address. I don't really know where to go from here at this point. I'm pretty, I'm not allowed to just give it up to God and not the fake coma God. Not that guy who I was calling a dickhead and a piece of shit for so long. But no. The God up there in the fucking light, in the sky, in the clouds. Joke around with him. Tell him you hate him for making your life the way it is. Trust me, it'll be worth it. That's what I'll say. Say it'll be worth it. Just don't kill yourself. Plus, we never go out like a bitch and a pussy who kills themselves in a fake coma dream. Because coma dreams aren't real. And if you are wondering if they are or not, just listen, just take my word, they're not. They're not real. My tit is still ticking. Tick, 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 tick. No, really though, like, I want to put my head in an industrial-sized fan. You know, like those fans they have hanging in like warehouses that are like, would literally chop your arm off if you stuck your arm in it at full speed. I just want to shove my head in one of those things. Just fucking tear my face off. Oh yeah. That's right. The journal entries. I'm going to start doing these at the end of the episodes, I think. I think I am going to do these at the end of the episodes for climactic reasons. I don't think I do any journal entries in this one. I think this is all jokes. Although I don't believe it was when I wrote it initially. But that seems to be what it is now. So all of the journal entries that I wrote in here seem to be removed. And now it's just jokes and comedy. Which I'm sure you're thinking, okay, this guy has lost his mind. I wish I had. I really wish I have lost my mind. I really wish I did. Because that's what happens with my journals. I'll go back to read them and they're changed. The words have been completely moved around. It's fucking bullshit, man. Yeah, these are all jokes in here, apparently. Not very good ones. Are there any normal entries? There was. Imagine being a fake nothing, thinking that you know what's going on. Like you're getting one over on me for me trying to just be a good person. Trying to get through life. Literally doing nothing wrong at all. Imagine being that. Yeah. Have you killed yourself yet? Just imagining that existence, quote unquote. Yeah. Just don't. It'll be worth it. Right around the corner. Which is so dumb of me, but it's kind of dumb to like force somebody to win the lottery at a specific location. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'm not going to read any journal entries right now. Who cares? Nobody even gives a shit. I'll put a poll in the thing or whatever for all the fucking 1.5 listeners. And I'll see the results, see if I can sway the voters in some way. And see if anybody actually wants to hear my journal entries. Which hopefully are normal. The exact order in which I wrote all the words originally. Not edited or modified in any way. Because that would kind of defeat the whole purpose. For real, man. It really doesn't, yeah. Yeah. Should have read them sooner, Aiden. No, I shouldn't have. You know why I didn't? For that very reason. Being coerced and guided and told what to do all the fucking time by fake nothings and the internet. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I listened for a couple months because I figured, oh, maybe they'll just give me the lottery numbers based off of them seeing into my future and talking about my future right now, making money off of my future. They have millions of listeners or hundreds of thousands. They're literally talking about what's happening in my day later today. Illegal. Unconstitutional. Illegal. And then you got fake nothings talking about my future as well. Telling me I should work. Dude, work? Nah, bruh. I ain't working. You people don't realize how mentally and emotionally and psychologically taxing and tormenting and torturing the last 32 months for me have been. You truly don't understand what the fuck I've had to fucking deal with and still have to think about. Because I can't think about anything else. I can't think normally ever again. I'll never be able to. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. It's made me who I am as a person. As a man who's trying to fucking... I mean, if I work, it's literally like a liberal cuck bitch move. Because I should already have a lot of money. My mom should not be working anymore. She just shouldn't. And for me to like work like a normal person, like I used to like doing a lot, is actually the opposite It's not conservative and Republican. It's literally the opposite. Because if I were to work, that would be me saying, all right, I hate the Constitution. I hate privacy. I hate copyright infringement. I hate the invasion of my senses from the internet. No. Yeah. Basically, it would be me saying, I actually like the invasion of my senses from the internet. And I like the invasion of my privacy. If I were to work, saying, I don't care if these podcasters, whether they're AI or not, doesn't matter. Whether they're God or not, doesn't matter. These fucking movies and shows and albums, a lot of them have very extremely unique and specific connections to my life later on. No, that's not me copying or just like living a life that is so directly connected to whatever form of entertainment. It's being guided on a fucking path that I haven't decided is okay. I don't agree with. I will never agree with. I'll never be okay with. And it's literally them being inserted with ideas and thoughts about song lyrics and concepts for shows that are later about my future. That are about my future. Whether that be days, weeks, months, years, or decades. So it's a liberal cuck bitch far left move to be like, okay, I want to go to work now. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about people profiting off of my life and my story. And don't pay me for it. Because I got a job. I work. So you see how none of it makes sense. Yeah. No shit. It's fucking goddamn disgraceful. And it kind of it's why I haven't been eating as much lately. Because I'm actually kind of sick to my stomach as to the way the world seems to work. Or not very well, in my opinion. Oh, Hayden, that's because you don't work. Yeah? No shit. And I'm not going to. I'm going to win the fucking lottery multiple times if I want to. Because that's the way it's going to go. That's what I've decided is going to happen. With me and the grace of God, obviously. Give it up to the big man. When I say everything, I speak as if God is, I'm God's puppet. I'm I'm God's grandson. Jesus is my dad, or whoever the hell it is, or whatever. I'm guessing it's them. It doesn't really matter. It shouldn't matter. The specifics and the details in terms of all of that garbage. All right. Well, yeah. So no, I'm not going to work. I miss working. I do. I really do miss working. And the fact that the fake nothings think that they're somehow playing a significant role in this world is fucking laughable. It's actually laughable. It makes me laugh. I think, what? You're not Satan. You're not the devil. You're none of that. You know it, too. You would have had me kill myself a long time ago. Yeah, you would have. Yep. Before I even was able to prove that this is a dream, or disprove that it's a dream, or even know what a coma dream, a fake coma dream, because they're not real, they're fake. Coma dreams aren't real. You would have done that a while ago. In my purg. Whatever. Who gives a shit? I'm starting not to care. Imagine being a fake nothing and like caring more than the person that it's happening to. Because I've been there, I've done that. It don't really work out too well. And just repeating the same shit phrases that I don't give a shit about. Keep talking, I like it. Give it up to God. I give it all up to God. I say, God, please. Just show me that there's good in this world still. Or whatever mumbo jumbo people who pray a lot say. People who know the Bible very well, like all the priests and pastors, who seem to be somewhat like making some of them, and I'm not saying all of them, obviously, but literally they'll read a phrase from the Bible and they're like, this is not what God means. This is not what Jesus is talking about. He's actually talking about this. How do you know what the hell Jesus is talking about? Were you alive 2,000 years ago? Do you know Jesus existed? Did you hear him say any of these things? Why are you telling people, like hundreds, if not thousands of people in your church, what Jesus actually means? The people who wrote the Bible probably didn't even hear Jesus say that. Because the people who wrote the Bible wrote it like a couple hundred years after Jesus died. That's the truth. I'm just saying, I'm just spitting the truth here, folks. You know, that's the way it is. It's what it is. So, the fact that these pastors are telling their flock of religious folk, this is what Jesus actually meant, when somebody who didn't write the Bible or didn't even write this part of the Bible said he said, is so insane. I'm sorry, it just is. It just is. You know? It's actually kind of crazy when you look at it like that. I'm not saying that Jesus and God are not, they don't exist or whatever. I'm just saying turn to spirituality if that's what it takes. Because I've seen what I think is whatever the hell up there. And I was not near death. I was not dying. I was nowhere near death. I was pretty fucking healthy, actually, for the most part. and I had a near-death experience of floating into heaven. So, you know, I know it's real. So, oh, Hayden, with the comet dream, with your comet dream thing, couldn't that have been real life? No, I've disproven it. Comet dreams aren't real, first of all, because it's just not possible. And I would have, if that was like me, my comatose, my yeso ma self, being near death, much like the meditation day. And that's why I was not being near death, but like waking up from the yeso ma. I would have died in this life and in this world, or woken up from the yeso ma by now. And I'd be able to hear and smell and feel and, I'd be able to see everything too going on in the fake hospital room where I'm in a fake yeso ma. So no, it's not real life. Plus, it was so goddamn bright, and it was heaven. All right, just take my word for it. You fucking goddamn pieces of shit. Question me. I'm connected with God. Don't you understand? You don't question me. Peace.